Two books, one cup, the podcast you won't believe. Where two books enter and one book leaves. One winner, one cup, one loser, one cup, or something like that. Something like that. Something like that. Something like that.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Two Books, One Cup, where we talk about two things that may or may not be books and decide which one is better. Today, we have Elton and Glenn duking it out. Hello, boys.
Hello.
Hi.
You just got done telling a story about being creepy to women at the gym.
Is that-
And then you just did that.
Okay, let me try. Okay,
Bust
I'll
up.
go less creepy. Hello. Is that-
Oh, well, that's kind of a weird energy to bring to the show.
That was weird energy.
For some reason, I imagine you're like a carrot with a human face when
No.
you're doing that.
Well, it's only on the weekends. Well, it is the weekend, so yes.
The weekends before Easter.
The weekend before
so
Easter, and you're a little
It's
carrot
never
boy.
been a more appropriate time
That's
to be a
it.
carrot boy.
Yeah, God bless you. You're not doing a good job being a host running the show. Come on, keep going.
Yep, you gotta hammer down.
You two were saying hi.
You gotta hammer down.
All right, fuck you.
Oh,
you used
my
up all your
mother
hello
of
time.
Pearl.
Man, the whip comes cracking, doesn't it?
I tried to submit our show to a bunch of Christian podcast networks, but that's not going to happen now. F-bombs.
Well, look, I think if you really want that to happen, we got to say Jesus more. So, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
You know what would be
But I can't
really
tell if that's
funny?
positive or negative. Was it?
Actually, so we should record all of us saying Jesus. And then
Put it in
Glenn,
there.
when you're editing, you can just go through and use it as a bleep.
Jesus.
Just slap a Jesus
Oh,
over it.
that's true. Instead of bleeping things out, I can just say Jesus.
Yeah.
And if it's a long diatribe that we want to cut out, it just goes Jesus, Jesus, Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus, Jesus.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea.
That is a good idea.
I think we need to make an effort to be more family friendly, given our podcast title is already so
It's fine.
evocative
It's
of
completely
family
normal.
values.
Yeah, exactly. It's very normal.
Yeah.
It's two books and
Yeah.
one cup. I don't understand what the
Yeah.
connotation is.
Yeah, the
They're-
cup could be the chalice of Christ. What is that thing called?
The Holy
Oh,
Grail.
my God. The Holy Grail. Thank you.
Holy Grail.
Holy Grail.
I can't believe my brain stopped for a second.
Speaking of, it's now in my possession.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
This beautiful wooden chalice.
She won't share it with me. I don't know what she's doing with
No.
it. She's hidden it, so I've actually looked around the house and I can't find it.
I've been
yeah, that's
sneaking
what you
into
do with
the.
it.
I sneak into the basement and I drink Bud Light Lime out of it when you're asleep.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Oh, you
With the cup
defiled
that's
the
Caesar?
cup. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
With the cup. So now you two get to try to fight for it. I've added some adornments,
I was
as
going
you
to
can
ask.
see.
Because that is your job when you
Yeah,
get the cup.
these are rhinestones that I bought at Michael's.
This is the first time I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I've
You
hot glued
bedazzled the
them
greatest cup on earth.
along the base. Yeah, yep. So now it's time for one of you two to try to win it from me.
Okay.
Come and take it.
If I win it, I cannot wait if I win it. How I will hide it from you. And then you will desire the cup like the One Ring. And you'll turn into a gross little monster hiding in
Yeah.
the shower trying
I'll
to
lose
stay
all my
wet.
hair.
Yeah.
I'll get real gray and waxy.
Yep, exactly.
It's true, yeah.
All right.
So it works.
Yeah.
Well, keep leading the show.
All right, Elton, what do you got?
Wait, who's going first?
You.
I'm going first.
Do you not want to? Do you want me to go first? I'm a little up in the air about mine.
So you're going to settle. You're going to settle when I say mine. That's
Okay, then Glenn, you go first.
Okay. Not a big story, a little backstory. When Elton and I first were talking about this, it was all Elton's idea, by the way. I did not. I can't take credit for how the amazing concept of fighting over something. That I was like, initially I was like, oh yeah, it'd be funny. It could be something like, your book against like Citizen Kane by Orson Welles. And then he's like, oh, yeah, totally. But it doesn't have to be a book. It can be anything. It can literally be like shopping carts versus Citizen Kane by Orson Welles. I'm like, oh, my God, that's so fucking hilarious. So I feel like I should be doing Citizen Kane by Orson Welles just because I brought that up, but I don't. The thing that kept popping into my head over and over again is the liberation and freedom that a child feels when they smoke cigarettes underage for the first time.
That's a beautiful thing.
It's a really good feeling.
That is a beautiful thing.
That is a beautiful
So
thing.
my thing that I'm bringing to this debate is kids smoking cigarettes.
All right, that's a contender. Elton, what do you got?
This is going to be a fucking hill to climb.
Ooh.
Mine is the Guinness Book of World Records.
How come his are so good every time? Makes me mad.
Are you kidding? Do you know how many people enjoyed smoking when it was, well, a naughty thing to do? And the act of smoking itself. My God. That is like an Everest.
Back in the time when you grew up watching movies and TV where people are smoking cigarettes, and God, they look cool. It just having a cigarette just makes you instantly look cool.
You gotta save it for your art. You can't. Are you going?
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I jumping ahead? I'm sorry. I just thought we were agreeing with each other.
Who's gonna argue their thing first? Go ahead. Either or. She decides.
Well, let's ask Gertie. Gertie's supposed to lead the show.
All right, Glenn, kick it off.
I go first?
Yeah.
The magic,
Elton doesn't like that.
the wonder of watching adults smoke cigarettes as they stop talking about stuff when you come walking up. I lived in an area where there's a bunch of us all in one small little kind of space. And so you'd go outside and you'd see a bunch of adults sitting around smoking cigarettes, talking, gossiping. And then you'd walk up, "Hey, fellas, what you talking about?" And they'd go, "Hey, little Glenn, why don't you run along? You got some people to play with?" And they're like, "Oh, I guess so. I just want to see what you got." So adults are mysterious and wonderful, and cigarettes were tied to that. When I was, I think, 7, there was an adult sitting outside that we knew. They all knew. Everyone knew each other. There was an adult sitting outside, and he was smoking a cigarette, and I said, "Can I have one of those?" And he goes, "Yeah, but don't tell your parents." So I got to take a puff off of it. And I didn't know to inhale or anything, but oh my God, I felt so cool. And of course, both my parents smoked like crazy, so they couldn't tell I smelled like smoke when I came in the house and everything. But then I immediately asked my mom, "Hey, Mom, can I have one of your cigarettes?" Which were big, long Eve lights with flowers around around the filter.
Like Virginia Slims.
Yeah, like Virginia Slims. And so I said, "Hey," because I felt emboldened. I thought you could just ask a parent and they'll just give you one. I said, "Can I have one of your cigarettes?" And Mom goes, "No, what the fuck's wrong with you? Get out of here." So then after that, me and my friends would walk around the parking lots of the place we lived, and we'd pick up cigarette butts and pretend that we're smoking them. And then then eventually a parent saw me doing that. Said, "What are you doing?" And pulled that cigarette butt out of my mouth. Like, "That's disgusting. Don't do that." So then I just wanted cigarettes, and I finally got to steal a pack from my dad. And, oh my God, I hid in the basement, and I smoked them, and I got real sick, and I hated every minute of it, but I loved it. And then I just kept smoking for years and years after that, feeling like I was finally a man. Go ahead, Elton.
So if I had to sum it all up, it's the linchpin holding together your sense of masculinity and power.
And being part of the little cabal-like circle of adults. I'm finally...
Where they sit around talking about whose mom's a whore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Got it. Just wanted to make sure I understood.
Okay.
All right, Elton. Let's Guinness Book of World Records.
God.
Bring it.
Because I fucking love smoking too.
Yeah.
But I don't do it anymore. But yeah.
No, I don't either.
Okay.
I cheat sometimes, but no, I'm not a full-time smoker.
I'll tell you how I got into it. Okay. My dad smoked ever since I've known him. So he was always smoking. And then just James Dean, all the fucking badasses in movies and stuff would smoke, where they'd light up for dramatic scenes. You'd be like, "Man, that's just badass." And then
I know.
One day, I'm 13 and I skipped school, I can't remember. Travis was his name. We're wandering around because you skip school in junior high, and you're like, "Where are we going to go?" And it doesn't matter. The deed is done. Now we're just going to wander. So we wander around.
Taste the freedom, you piece of shit. We're doing it right now.
We're adulting in a world without jobs. But anyway, he pulls out cigarettes because I'd seen him smoking and shit too. And he's like, you've smoked before, right? And I'm like,
No.
of course
Delicious.
I have.
Delicious.
I am
yes,
old.
I love these
hat at
moments.
this. And of course, I'd never smoked anything. So I'm like, absolutely. Of course. So he hands me one, he lights it up, and he looks at me like, okay, so do it. And so he lit up, and he's just puffing away like, of course, And I light up, and I take that first drag, which was way too big.
Oh,
And-
sure.
And then I get lightheaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But-
yeah. Oh.
But the thing was, my brain was telling me, you want to lay down right now. But also, Travis is going to know you're full of shit if you lay down and you're like, my head's dizzy. And so
Yeah.
I had to play it off with blurring vision and puffing, taking another drag going, just work through it, man. Just work through it. Can't let him know. The worst peer pressure I've ever had in the world was him staring me down, being like, all right, looks like you know what you're doing. And I'm just like, of course I know what I'm doing.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to interrupt. I'm going to have to interrupt for a second. Those peer pressure moments of smoking cigarettes and eventually later on doing drugs are some of the finest moments. I hold on to those like little diamonds. I miss them. If anything, I wish I could go back in time and be there with you in ghostly form and say, I know you want to lay down. Lay down. Put your arm behind your head.
Like a magician.
It'd just be like, cigarettes as you lay down.
Just like really reclined.
Really just like, I
Yes.
love
As if-
them so
as if
much.
they're
Oh, I wasn't there
behind you.
yet, but I got there real fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, those moments of, see, that's the thing. It's true. You can point to those moments and be like, I had real courage there to not show that I was a fucking whimpering, not knowing what the hell I'm doing kind of kid. And I stepped up for myself and was like, look at me. I can lie like the best of them.
Which is truly the most adult thing you can do.
Oh, can I just have a sidebar with Gertie really quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm going to win. He's talking about my thing. He's not talking about his book.
No.
All right, okay, I'm back.
Au contraire.
Oh. Okay, go on.
Maybe
You ready
he's
for this
hustling
hard
you.
pivot?
Yeah, I was just going to say. I was thinking the
Segue.
smoking thing's going somewhere. Or maybe you're just talking about it because you miss it. But okay, let's go on.
I do goddamn miss it so much. Okay. But, believe me, every day at work, I'm like, I see you going outside. I see you.
Yeah. You want to be there with them. You want to be part of the brotherhood of smokers.
Oh, I would be an elder statesman. I would just be like, you children, you don't even know with your vaping. And then, Marlboros all
the
day.
vaping. Okay. Let's. I'm gonna instead of interrupting you because you're drawing me into a conversation. But instead of interrupting you, I'm just gonna take notes.
Children don't smoke. There you go. There's the disclaimer. We needed one.
Oh yeah,
Kids!
It's a Christian podcast.
Kids, Christ doesn't want you to smoke. Though they did smoke a lot back then. It
I'm
doesn't
sure
matter.
Jesus smoked. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Did he? There wasn't a lot of tobacco with him back in Nazareth, was there?
I don't.
Opium.
There's opium. They had that. It's kind of like how people drank wine forever because they couldn't drink water. So maybe they just did opium all the time. No. Well, I'm not going to interrupt. Go on.
Sure.
You're
Okay.
drawing me into conversation, but I refuse to be a part of it.
Okay.
Oh.
So in those moments of courage with things like smoking for the first time and lying to the people around you that's your old hat and you've done this a million times while drawing in something completely foreign and making you want to throw up, but you got to hold it down and keep yourself together because you're going to win in the moment. The Guinness Book of Records, World Records, is nothing if not a place where anyone can achieve greatness with a little bit of imagination, and you don't even have to smoke to get into it. All you need is a great idea that someone hasn't done before, or better still, that someone has done before that you believe you can do better. And then you call up.
Points for using old hat.
That,
Points for using the term old hat.
Yeah, I have a scoring system that I'm not going to share with either of you.
Oh.
There's a rubric.
I know that we're making this show up as we go
Yeah,
along,
it's
but
a rubric. I've developed a rubric.
Well, you're very welcome. I read too much. But, yes.
Sorry, I'm just making notes. Okay. All right, well,
Counterpoint.
That's his counterpoint. Okay, well, this is the opening explanation.
The opening
Oh, these
salvo,
are opening
if you
arguments.
will.
Opening salvo, exactly. All right. Go on, lead the show.
Push it along, ma'am.
I like that you're making an annoyed face at me.
I know, I kind of wish this was a visual medium, because leading up to it when you're doing your whole Orson Welles thing, maybe I should just do it, the face I know I was making.
Just eye rolling. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I could
before
feel
you
it.
landed, you jumped sideways and landed on smoking as a child.
Kids smoking cigarettes.
So
Yeah.
I'd like for you.
I was going to say, what's
To
wrong
make-
with that?
Yeah,
Lots,
I'd like
lots
for you.
wrong with that, children. Jesus doesn't want you to smoke. That's
That's true. It's a Christian podcast.
Christ
Not
it
tobacco.
compels you.
Yeah.
the power of Christ.
The
compels
power
you
of
to not
the
smoke
power of Christ
tobacco.
compels you. Marlboro, camel ye not. There you go.
You're not.
Glenn, I'd like for you to make the argument as to why your thing is a net positive on society.
Oh man, I could do this. This is pretty softball.
Back off. I'm the one that said kids smoking cigarettes. You can't, I mean, unless you just want to help me win. I'm going to say one thing everyone experiences, whether you're at a bar drinking too much or you're at work and you see people going outside. You
And
go
you're drinking
outside,
too
smoke
much.
a cigarette, and you drink too much at work. Exactly. You're like, I need a cigarette. You go outside. That there's people out there and you make friends with them. There's always the same people, and you wind up creating kind of a little brotherhood, like a little group, a little friendship thing. One example is, for me personally, when I was in France a couple of years ago, that I went out to this one bar, and then hanging out there, I go outside to have a cigarette, and everyone's speaking French, and I can't speak French. Then this one old French guy comes up to me and starts speaking French at me, and I go, I don't have any money, no money, I don't know what to tell you, like, no money. And then he's just like, and I even held out cigarettes. I said, well, you want a cigarette? And he kept speaking French at me, and he wanted something, and I couldn't tell what it was. Then the other Frenchmen, like teenager, 20s, they're in their 20s, standing around outside, I said, hey, does anyone speak English? And then one guy goes, I do. And I said, can you tell me what he wants? I don't know how to help him. And then he goes, oh, he wants money from you. And I was like, can you tell him I don't have any money? And he goes, yeah. And then the guy got real angry. And he's like, yeah, sacre bleu. And then he runs off and he like sits with a group of other little homeless guys or something. And then I was like, I just like to myself, I just go, what the fuck? And then the guy next to me was like, oh, yeah, that happens all the time. If you're not from here, you know, they get angry at you if you're not helping them. And we had a brotherhood while we smoked cigarettes. We had a joining moment. I can list off forever work experiences doing that. And I'll also throw in, lastly, the Guinness Book of World Records does have the most cigarettes smoked. You know, they have like 1 million cigarettes in the guy's mouth, and they light them all, and they have to smoke them. People are always trying to beat that every year. So I'll leave it there.
Glenn, -1 point for boring me. Okay,
That wasn't
Elton,
boring. It was a beautiful moment with Frenchmen.
That's right.
Elton, what's the net positive of the Guinness Book of World Records?
A net positive.
Yeah.
Other than being a standard by which you yourself can try to achieve, and it's open for everybody. It's not like you have to train since you're 12 to get into the fucking Olympics of the Guinness Book of World Records. You can do it tomorrow if you can, I don't know, spin plates or smoke a lot of cigarettes even. I'm just saying.
If you have a big enough mouth.
Now, to
open your
counterpoint,
mouth.
imagine how many friends you get
Let me see.
when you go to bars or wherever and you're fucking around with Frenchmen outside of places, and you're like, hey, guess who has a Guinness Book World Record, baby? And they're like, you? Because it's universal that anyone can get in there, but you have to do something pretty fucking wild and great to get into it. So they want instant story, instant friends. Oh, yeah.
I love, hey, does anyone, like, there's a guy bugging me and wanting something, and I go, hey, does anyone speak English? And it's like, I do. And I'm like, I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records for smoking the most cigarettes.
But see, the thing is, were that to have happened, would that have eased the friendliness of anyone around you if they're like, you? No. And then instant stories start flowing about how you trained to smoke a fuck ton of cigarettes. And all the hell you put your body through, and all the crazy amounts of alcohol you'd have to do to dull your senses to not have those headaches, and nicotine liquid draining from your nose and sinuses all the time.
Oh, true. Think of all the tar.
See?
While you were talking,
It explains your cocaine habit.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
need
it
to
does.
start
Yeah,
doing the cocaine to offset the alcohol.
cleans you out.
Sure.
Does.
Yeah, it's a daisy chain effect. I know Gertie was just asking how big can your mouth get. I would imagine I would have to dislocate my jaw. I don't have a wide maw.
1 point to Glenn for saying the word maw.
Okay. This is arbitrary. I don't know who's going to win now.
Glenifer. How useful is your thing if you were stuck in a foreign country?
Oh, you're doing the prison thing from last episode. Okay.
prison
You
thing.
got real mad when I did the prison thing last time. I'm going to get real mad at you. I'm in a foreign country. How is smoking beneficial to me? Any other qualifiers you want to throw in there?
Yeah, you're stuck in a foreign country.
Am I
You're
fully-
lost.
Am I fully
What
clothed?
need help?
Is it a hostile country?
Is it a hostile country?
It's not specified.
All right.
Up to you.
You're in Afghanistan in the caves.
I
Okay.
think they do like to smoke.
I'll take that.
So-
I'm in Afghanistan in the case. They all smoke like crazy. All of a sudden, the American walks in. Like, yeah, we got a bad history with you. And I go, I know, fellas, I know. Here, take one of these. We all sit around and smoke and talk about, like, remember the first time you smoked a cigarette? And they say, yeah. And then we'd all giggle and laugh.
They'd say, yeah. Our moms would sit outside in little circles and
Yep.
talk about the whore they stoned to death.
They stoned to death.
How great Sharia law is. And then you
Yeah, Sharia law is
hands.
great. Remember when we
Yeah.
stoned Janice? God, that was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
I don't know. I think my answer is pretty easy there. I think I can bond with anyone in any country pretty easily, especially countries that don't, like in France, where they still smoke all the time. But not Italy. It's
Why not?
impossible to get cigarettes in Italy.
Oh, yeah, no, they keep these weird machines that you need a special card.
Like from your doctor. It's weird.
Yeah,
They're
you
trying to-
can't just buy cigarettes.
They're trying to phase out people being able to smoke cigarettes, like new generations. So you can still smoke cigarettes if you're old enough and you get like the special card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
versus
And your body's been
Germany, where you
ruined
can
and
just buy it
ran
at the
through
grocery
already.
store. Exactly.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Where they figure,
Like,
what's
you're
the
so
point?
dependent on them. If you quit, you'll die. So
Yep.
here's the card.
Exactly. Here's your card.
And
You
all
just
the
hope
kids
you
are
die
like,
and
weed's
disappear.
better anyway. And then they just
Yeah.
try.
That's why we're not going back to Italy. Okay, well, there you go. I think I answered my question.
Well,
Apt.
I think that does hold true for people that do enjoy smoke and like smoking. You can create a camaraderie with other smokers. But being that most of the world is transitioning away from smoking, you're likely to offend more people than you are to bring on board with your childhood smoking thing. I'm just saying.
Right.
See that?
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
not adult use smoking, right? It's a child smoking.
Yes. Well, it's early
True.
start. Early start in the race, which, by the way, I always thought I was winning by
Yeah.
starting at 13. Because when did you start? Oh, I started when I turned 18 or whatever. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get the hell out of here. I did it when I was 13.
Then you hear all those minor
For Christ's sake.
fucking people that are like, I was smoking since I was 6. And you're like, man,
Yeah.
you beat me.
So cool.
It's like meeting someone that served in World War II. Like, ooh, like I was on Iwo Jima. Oh, yeah. Like I've been smoking since I was 6. Oh, I bet you were.
I've been
You're so
smoking
dangerous.
since before filters. And you're like, wow.
Yeah, they didn't even
Yeah.
have filters.
Yeah.
Had to roll their own.
The army doctor. Yeah.
we used to
Army
make our
doctor
own.
looked in my mouth and he said, "No, you got to start smoking Camels. Your throat looks like shit. You got to only smoke Camels."
You're like,
eat
what do
out
I do
great,
when I'm
kid.
out on the streets? And I don't have any filters on these. And they're like, you just got to take your sock and cut off a piece of cloth, wrap it around it. Yeah, I suppose there's.
Exactly.
I mean, when you're a kid and you're developing and you need to make friendships, smoking with other smoking kids that started early, oh my God, the bond is instantaneous.
Oh, yes.
You make friendships at a young age. With other kids, like, I smoked when I was 9. You go, oh yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, I smoked when I was 12. So there's the bonding, I think, is a big effect. Remember the time that we went to the Satanic Doo-Wop band?
Yeah.
And we went outside, and smoked a cigarette with other Satanists that were sitting around smoking.
Yeah.
And then that one weird dad, like this angry middle-aged man, like comes walking down the side.
Blackout drunk.
Yeah, he was blackout drunk. And he was just like, mad, like, what are you, all you pieces of shit and whatever. But instead of everyone getting angry, we all took a drag off our cigarette and helped him get home with an Uber that we paid for.
So the argument is not how much fun can you have smoking with strangers. That's not what you... Because I think everyone has had so much fun smoking with strangers. I stole a cigarette out of an Austrian backpacker's mouth in England in 2019, and I think I started COVID.
I think you're a few
But
countries
that's not
off.
the point. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking, didn't it start in China? I thought was the thing.
I don't know where they went next. But they took a little bit of me with them. The whole point.
What do you like? I hang out in sewers. Everyone knows that about me. So I think I'm probably pretty diseased. I went to England. I took a man's cigarette.
A little bit. I'm a little bit of just a bog creature.
Yeah.
And you love that about me. Don't act like
No,
you didn't
I
know
love that about you.
But
Yeah.
that's not the point. The whole point is that you're arguing more for this feeling of doing something naughty. So you can't kind of pivot now to talk about how smoking brings people together. We all know this to be true.
Well, except for non-smokers.
Truly, your argument is the feeling of getting that first little hit of nicotine when
There's
you're a
that.
kid and you're doing something naughty.
Were you the one that brought up how does this contribute to society? Or was it Elton?
I did not.
Okay, because
I'm
this
not
is how
helping
it
you at
contributes
all.
to society. Oh, okay,
It
fine.
makes people
Everyone bonds. We find commonality.
long-term
I could be in
addicts,
Afghanistan.
Right, find comfort in each other.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Elton, same question. What is the net positive of the Guinness Book of World Records? Oh, no, we already talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah.
Basically,
How it's
anyone can do it.
Yeah, how it's an achievement. It's something to be, I don't know, lorded over other people who haven't done cool Guinness Book of World Records things.
Like I won. Wasn't there like a?
I have a list
Brady
here if you
Bunch.
want to hear them. Most tattoos.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just really quick. The Brady Bunch had one where they're trying to like do the most swings, where you're swinging for the longest time and get in Guinness Book of World Records. I guess you could lord that over someone if you achieve that goal. But okay, go on. What's your list?
So, like, there's Charles Osborne. I'm sure that is not related to Ozzy Osbourne at all. He hiccuped continuously for 68 years, starting in 1922 and ended in 1990. Enduring an estimated 60 million hiccups. Imagine talking to that guy over your filthy fucking cigarette. See?
You
That
help
Charles
him.
Osborne
Smoke
guy,
cigarettes
he
while
had
you're
a
hiccuping.
fucked up life. And I'll
Yeah.
smoke to that, I guess. Or whatever.
Wow, without a break?
Did
like,
he
did
die?
he hiccup in his sleep?
Did he die in 1990?
Yeah.
What stopped it?
What stopped it?
I don't know. I don't know Chucky Osborne. we don't hang out because he doesn't talk. He didn't talk very well because he was hiccuping all the time. So I had to
I like that he's still alive, and then he goes to France. Like, hey, anyone speak English? Did you know that I hiccuped up so much it only stopped recently? Yeah, I'm talking normal now. 68 years.
You're
68
leaving-
years I was hiccuping all the time.
You're leaving out the world record for it, though. See, that's the thing. Like, anyone can hiccup. Charles Osborne's the only one that gets a record for it. See?
That's true.
And then he could be like, hey, smokers, you want to hear a cool story? And they're like, absolutely. And then talks
they're all
about his
friendly,
hiccuping.
sure.
Or how about the most Big Macs eaten in a lifetime? That's Donald Gorski, and he consumed over 32,000 Big Macs since the early 70s. See?
I think I heard about him. There was a
How is that
podcast
countable?
I listened
Did he
to.
keep all of his receipts? What happened there?
Oh.
I just want to know how they substantiate some of these claims, okay?
Oh, I know that too.
Prove it.
You have to
Okay,
have
go ahead.
you have to have evidence. You have to have you have to record a valid. Jesus Christ, Elton! Fuck, a valid recording of your idea. It has to be standardized, has to be breakable, has to be verifiable, has to be universal. See, universal appeal, and it has to be measurable too. So that all has to be incorporated. Then you have to have Meticulous evidence, video footage, independent witnesses all have to be verified. And then there's specialized experts that can observe you, and then there's log books and all kinds of shit. And even then...
Who's the specialized experts for hamburgers?
That's
do you
the
mean?
thing. He'd have to have receipts, right?
Yeah.
But you're saying specialized experts to monitor you, and it's like,
No.
My name is
Put him in
Steven.
his
I've been
codes and
watching people eat
receipts.
hamburgers for 40 years.
Yeah. Well, this guy specifically. This one guy in particular.
yeah, I think I might have heard of him, actually. I was listening to a different podcast where they interviewed a guy who had been eating probably Big Macs. I don't know if it's the same guy. Since like the 60s or 70s or something. And he'll buy shitloads of them and just keep them in his car because they basically don't go bad. His wife has never had one. She thinks it's weird,
damn.
but apparently he's healthy. Yeah.
That is
I don't know if
weird.
it's the same guy, but he's been doing it since the 70s.
They just sit in his car.
Yeah. And I know. And if they ever stop selling Big Macs, he's like, I guess I'd have to just load up on Big Macs and just get a big freezer. That's all he eats. He literally eats nothing else.
I think it would have been great if he nonchalantly took a dark turn and was like, I guess I'm just going to have to shoot myself in the face.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, the only thing sustaining my
better than
my
starving,
happiness
yeah.
or longevity is Big Macs. Without them, I'm a dead man. And you're like, fucking what, Donald? What are you saying, Donald? Stop it. Stop
McDonald's
tying your...
goes out of business. Yeah. I love that. Also, Gertie's big thing, I don't know if we said this in the last episode, but always wants to kill herself every time there's any sign of trouble.
I don't think we mentioned this last
Wants to go
time.
full
I don't
possum.
think so. Yeah, absolutely. The smallest inconvenience, I'm planning how to do it.
We talked about like the apocalypse, and I was saying, I guess like if the apocalypse happened, I kind of just want to see what happens. Like it would suck, and I'd be miserable and whatever, scrounging for food. But I just kind of want to see how it plays out for as long as I can before I die. It's an interesting thing, and I want to see how it goes. And you're instantly like, I would just kill myself. Like as soon as you hear the missiles are flying, I'd just kill myself right on the spot. I'm like, don't do that. And you're like, well, I'm not sticking around.
No.
And then that's been your answer for everything.
Every woman I've ever met agrees with me.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. For obvious reasons.
Yeah,
yes.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay, the end.
So you run out of Big Macs, and you're like, well, and you shoot yourself right there.
This is it.
I do like a Big Mac. I
Do you?
do.
Yeah.
I do.
Ugh, Big Macs are gross.
Yeah, they are.
This
What
guy
about
ate
it
a
is
fuck ton of
gross?
them, though. So take that with your
Delicious.
smoking
They've
cigarettes.
got the Big Mac. I do also love. I do actively smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, basically, we can't sway her one way or the other because you brought up Big Macs, and now I brought up smoking.
Yeah.
She's just happy all around right now.
Both
Well, how about the largest collection of sick bags? There you go. That's neat.
So
Vermeulen.
someone pukes.
He owns over 6,000 airline sick bags from 1,142 airlines across 160 countries. That's a fucking freak
my
show.
God.
Used or unused.
There you go. But see, bringing that up, instant kind of weird friendships emerge when they're like, when people when strangers show not only their concern but curiosity when they're like, "The fuck is wrong with you?" And
Yeah.
then you're like, "I got a world record," and then they're like, "Well, that doesn't diminish
that
the
doesn't really soften
6,000
the
sick
blow.
bags."
Yeah. So was he an avid flyer, or he managed to trade for these things?
I feel like one fed the other. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like he started collecting them, like out of need, like out of necessity. He's like, well, if I'm going to throw up, I'm going to be in wherever, so maybe I'll throw up later. Put this one in my jacket, and then he comes
Maybe he'll
home,
puke later. I don't know.
and then he's got a
Feeling
ton of them,
sassy.
and he's like, kind of need more, and then he's just egged it on. His friends were like, why are you going to Beijing? He's like, I need sick bags. And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I would like if it's like the was it Munchausen? Maybe I'm getting this wrong. Where like maybe his wife is poisoning him or whatever, and so then he's constantly throwing up. But then he realizes like throwing up in sick bags is so much easier than running to a toilet. Like so I'm going to grab a bunch of these off this flight. Then he makes a point of flying as much as humanly possible to just gather up as many sick bags as possible to use when he's back home.
But-
doesn't know why he throws up so much, but he prefers bags than toilet.
But what I
Everybody's just
wonder,
staring at me like I'm a serial killer right now. Hi.
but see, what I
think what I
wonder
said
is,
makes sense.
I see it two ways. maybe he carried him around as, maybe he did. He partied a lot, did a lot of night clubbing. And so when people were like, oh, I feel sick, he's like, I got you. And he pulls one out. But then after
It's
a
like
while.
the cigarette thing.
But then after a while, he's out with those, different people, random people he met while smoking. And then they're all partying it up. And they start to feel ill. And they're like, oh, man, I think I want to throw up. And he's like, And then he's like, no, you're going to fuck up my collection. And he just shoves it back in his jacket.
Yeah.
I like the idea that maybe he travels so much and takes all these different airlines because he's like, I don't know why, but whenever I'm not home, I don't feel so sick all the time. And so he's just collecting up sick bags for when he goes home. And then you're right. He's out smoking cigarettes. Like, I don't want you to take away from my storage.
Okay. So then I don't know what the counterpoint is. I feel like
I don't know.
I've
Gertie's.
completely
like
lost the thread on what's happening here.
We're just talking about throwing up,
We're just talking about puking.
puking, and cigarettes.
Sometimes they go together.
You can talk about
They do,
Richard.
depends on-
Talk about Richard Scott. He spent over 36 hours swinging back and forth on a swing set.
Oh, it's the thing I was just talking about from the TV show.
It's a whimsical endurance
Yeah.
feat that also led him to meet his girlfriend during the attempt. I don't know how that worked out because it was.
How did that work out?
How are you?
There's got to be
got it.
a where are they now?
But see,
I want to know how they met. Was she like trying to mow the lawn
it
while he was
seems like
swinging?
it sparked a curiosity and/or an exchange and/or friendly conversational. See, yeah, exactly. Socializing. Eat it. Cigarettes.
Okay, well, you're making it sound like by the act of being a part of the Guinness Book of World Records, it can get you laid.
Oh yeah,
Smoking can get you laid.
swinging
especially when you're
on
really
actual
young.
swing sets can get you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It can get, but if you're smoking at the age of 13, you're gonna get laid. There's gonna be some people that are pretty impressed with you. They're gonna give up their bodies for you.
Being a first-hand, I can argue against that. That did not happen.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying to. Yeah, no, I never had any luck. Smoking didn't help me back then. All right, Gertie, keep leading the show.
Let's do it. Let's get that horse whip out. Like, whoosh. Like, God. Like, let's dig deeper into the
I
psychology
think I'm
of.
going to take a pee intermission.
Oh, my God. All right, well, with that, we'll be right back after these messages.
With the whole wide world at its wit's end, why not listen to a comedy podcast hosted by a nitwit talking about books? It couldn't possibly be worse than watching the world burn up and drown at the same time. Well, probably not worse than that. It's certainly not worse than watching your paycheck burn while you drown in ever-rising prices, right? Or better still, it can't possibly be worse than watching world governments burn down the very institutions, infrastructure, and safety nets. Okay, yep, right, I see where this is headed. Let me skip ahead a little. Yada, yada, More burning, got it. More drowning, More drowning, goodness, even more drowning. Oh my. Something about sick chickens, that's concerning. Yeah, here we go. Instead of all that, go and listen to Elton Reads a Book a Week. It's available wherever you get podcasts from, or listen to them, or however you do it. It's very, very funny, informative, and will almost certainly not burn or drown anything, as far as I know. Cross my heart.
Host.
You are on your deathbed.
Oh.
How does your team take care of you?
Who goes first?
You.
God
Glenn.
damn it.
What are we doing?
Okay.
What are we doing?
You're on your deathbed.
Deathbed.
How does your thing take care of you? Your deathbed.
Yeah.
You know, when you're dying in a bed.
Okay, and I'm supposed to go first.
Okay.
I have thought that if I know I've got a terminal illness, I will never stop drinking and I will smoke like a crazy person. So it might not help me, but it'll soothe me to lay in my deathbed, one cigarette after another. You'd have to roll my hospice bed towards the window and then just like, Gertie, get me another one. Empty out my ashtray. It's spilling over. That's my answer. I mean, there is nothing that's going to help you on your deathbed except for just being able to smoke and enjoy it.
What the memory of childhood youth.
It's true. I'll already be going through an entire slideshow of my life as I'm laying in my deathbed.
Just Sets a Time of Your Life by Green Day.
Exactly. So let's add flavor
You're
to
ripping
it.
cigs.
Like actual flavor of the cigarettes in my mouth as I'm thinking back to the first time I accidentally shat myself on the school bus and I had to go hide it and wipe it out in the bathroom at elementary school. I can live all that with a cigarette in my mouth.
Was it a solid one or a wet one?
No, it was wet. I've always had diarrhea my entire life.
So you had to ditch the undies, too.
No, I just had to wipe them out a lot and then ditch them when I get home. Anyways, okay,
That
so
sounds
Elton's
like
next.
Rash City.
See,
Okay, Elton.
on were I to ever win a Guinness Book of World Record, which I have not, I would in that while the Beatles in my life plays, I would be laying there thinking, man, I have done a lot, and that has really changed my life. And I don't know, maybe even met my girlfriend and or wife, or, tons of other things that happen because of it. Because without the Guinness Book of World Records, it'd just be laying in bed smoking cigarettes. And see, instead, I can be like, I did some shit or something. I don't know. Something.
I like to imagine that your Guinness Book of World Records is just man who swallowed the most pennies, and you're thinking back on it as you're dying, just like.
Just thinking about their penny taste in your maw.
That amazing day that you swallowed all those pennies with a penny judge sitting next to you, being like, okay, yeah, this is good. I've seen this before. He's going to make it.
He's going to make it.
Is that how you met your wife? Or like, she's just walking by and looks in the window. Hey, you're swallowing a lot of pennies.
She was
Can I
the
come in?
one feeding him the pennies.
Oh, maybe she's feeding it. She
Yeah.
respects him.
It's
because-
very intimate.
You'll never guess what I did. And then
Exactly. At the grocery store.
Yeah.
she's like, well, he won't live long, so that's the thing. That's all right. I'll just get his life insurance.
Yeah. Which he has none because he professionally eats coins.
All right, Gertie, any more follow-up questions to nail this down? Who do you think wins?
Nail
Actually, it's
it
up to
down.
me.
Let's do a closing argument.
Closing
Let's
arguments?
nail it down, dude, with a closing argument.
Okay.
Glenn, I want you to bring your best.
Bring
Why
it.
is it me first all the time?
You want me? I can
Elton,
go
I want you to
first.
bring your best.
Okay, I'll go. Okay, I will go for the reason.
You go first.
The reason why the Guinness Book of World Records is, man, this is a hard one. It's better than smoking when you're younger. And that magical moment when all the stars are a little brighter and the air that you're fouling is a little sweeter. But how it's better than all of that is that it gives it provides a record, a historical record of things that not only can inspire you to greatness, but might actually inspire you to attempt a world record and attain greatness, because anyone can do it. And plus, it started as a way to answer questions in pub trivia, so you can associate that with Guinness, which is a great way to spend your many years of not achieving a world record by getting drunk in bars and thinking about it.
Very inspiring. Yeah, I love that. I feel uplifted now.
Yes.
Glenn, can you beat that?
Okay, so his angle is, I'm just going to recap what he's saying. His angle is the Guinness Book of World Records is, kind of like the Wild West. It's sort of anyone can do it.
Did you
if
just
they have the
verbally say
gumption.
burp?
Yeah, I did. I do it
My
all the
favorite
time.
thing in the world.
It's better than openly burping. I like to believe it's more charming. So, the Guinness Book of World Records, anyone can do it. It's a lot like being in America. If you come to America and you've got gumption, you can make it, kid. That kind of thing. So the Guinness Book of World Records is kind of the same thing. It's like if you got it in you and you want to do it, you can become a champion. It's just not like the Olympics. It's just because you put a lot of like pennies that you swallowed, or like the most
You
light
cooked
bulbs.
the biggest pancake.
Yeah. Also, those really gross people that have like the longest nails.
Yeah.
I don't know who those people are. So I get it. I get what you're saying. It's kind of that. Like anyone can achieve greatness with the Guinness Book of World Records. In my case, it's the transition from child to man, where you have embraced the adult act of cigarette. I remember my first time having cigarettes, standing in front of a mirror in my sister's bedroom because I wanted to see what I looked like smoking. And then I finally actually inhaled for the first time. Because before then, I actually learned this, not intentionally, I learned a trick of like being able to get the smoke just far enough down your throat without going into your lungs that I could make it come out my nose. And everyone thought like, oh my God, you're actually inhaling? I'm like, yeah, I totally inhale all the time. And then finally I'm like, I should inhale. So I stood in front of the mirror, what do I look like? And I smoked, and I went, and then for real, it's like a red filter was put over my eyes. Everything got real red. And I was like, why is everything red?
Yeah.
Oh my God, am I going to die? And then I was like, took another drag. I got really lightheaded and stuff. And just like Elton, fighting the urge to lay down on the floor, I did lay down. But I thought I looked pretty cool laying down there on the floor with a cigarette in my hand.
I'm not going to die. I'm going to live.
I'm going to live. Exactly. And so I became multi-steps closer towards being a man, a grown man. I'm into the arena of adulthood. Pretty soon I can talk about Janice, the whore that lives 4 doors down, that kind of thing.
And we do.
And we do all the
Over
time.
cigarettes.
So I think it's the celebration of transitioning into adulthood. I'm sure women have had the same experience. You could sit around and gossip about Janice as women, for sure. With your long, thin little cigarettes. It's the celebration of life and the transitioning into adulthood. That's my argument.
There's this woman down the street that when I first moved here had a cast on her wrist. And I don't know what happened. We were just walking through the neighborhood. It was nice weather. I came here in the spring.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if it was you first or me, where we were walking past her house and one of us said, "Oh, keep your voice down, the whore's out." And we decided that she was an absolute voracious prostitute.
Don't mind her. She's a whore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she doesn't need the cast anymore. It just makes her extra tips.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. There's like a pity aspect.
Yeah.
What the what kind of
But it's the problem
quality?
is that it's done.
what is the quality standard of whores? Well, were you guys with that they're throwing pity pennies because she's like they're like, oh man, now give her a shot. She's got a cast, man.
Yeah,
and they're like,
or maybe
well,
they
I
like
was
the-
looking to pay for some sex. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not get a little uplifting? I helped someone out kick out of it too.
Yeah. I think that's probably part of the appeal is like, don't you hate it when
She's
you're gonna
inconvenienced,
hire
and
a
she's
whore
doing it anyway.
and the
Yeah.
whore's got a lot of judgments against you because she's in the prime, she's looking great, she's had a lot of
Yeah.
sex, she knows who's good to have sex. But then there's the other prostitute who's just like, I got a cast, no one will have sex with me, and it's like, I'll do it. Her standards, she doesn't expect a lot out of you. She's just happy you're there. And I
Yeah.
think that's part of the appeal. Thanks for fucking me with my cast. No, anytime, Janice.
Yeah.
I'll be back next week.
Anyway, here's a 20.
Here's a 20.
Ooh,
That's more than the other ones pay.
yeah, a $12 tip.
It's like the last whore of the night. You're just like,
Yeah.
I'll take the one with the
Exactly.
cast, I guess.
All the other ones have been scooped up,
Yeah.
taken off in their Ubers to other people's homes. Like, I got the one with the cast. It's just, she's like, I'm sorry. I can break a 20 if you want me to.
Yeah. She's like, I got it wet earlier today by accident. It might smell a little bit. I'm sorry.
What the hell? Why are we doing this voice for her?
I don't know.
Oh,
Why did
Lord.
we decide she was a whore at all?
I
Probably
think you're the
because
one
we're
that
bad
came up with
people
it.
who smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, she was outside, and I think she was like trying to talk to someone.
No, she was just puttering around in her garden.
Oh, was
She
she?
was literally just existing.
Yeah.
And we decided that this...
Gertie called her a whore.
She's like a middle-aged woman with a cast on her wrist. I'm like, oh yeah, she's a prostitute.
I
just
do
look at
that
her,
when I go to
know
the bank
she's a
sometimes.
sex
I'm like,
worker.
hello, whore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I imagine you've had much coitus this evening.
Is business good?
Is a business good? Are you making a deposit?
You look well after entertaining many men. How was your day?
Okay, well, those are our closing arguments. So, I guess, what did we do last time? Elton and I decided who wins, and then you get to throw in like a little extra deciding factor.
Well, I think she should decide who wins.
I was a fan of this too. I thought there should be a judge who decides who wins, but then Gertie was like, nah, it should be up to you two.
Well, here's the thing. The decision that I would make is based on what works best for the format of the show.
Oh.
So I'm happy to do that.
Oh.
I don't
okay,
even know.
Well, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, what format are we talking about here?
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I didn't want to get into it because I don't know what she's got in her head about
There's a
this.
format? I'm interested.
Yeah, so I have to at this point pass it back to Elton so that he can now be the next
So it
judge.
doesn't matter who actually.
So we're just rotating
we don't
it
have
back
to- we
and forth.
don't have to
depending on the
rotate.
pattern.
We don't have to do that. It's just who had the
Of
better.
course we do.
You know, who did
Yeah,
it?
that's the fun of it.
Who did?
No, I do like
Because
that.
the points don't matter.
No, I
I'm
understand.
going to give it to you
No.
anyway for your use of alt hat.
Oh, well, there you go. See, now there's something. No, maybe that should be an unspoken rule that anyone who hasn't listened to this episode doesn't understand exactly how this works. But basically, the cup has to go back and forth between Elton and us.
Yeah.
But we'll just make up some dumb reason why.
Yeah, because then we can add more and more stuff to it. Mm-hmm. Make it stupider and stupider.
That's true.
It's not
All right.
stupid.
There,
It
I
is
know.
stupid.
Super serious
Okay.
cup. Okay.
It's the wooden cup with Julius Caesar's initials.
I know.
What did
We're
he
going to
do?
have to, and it's been
And
now.
then my Michael's rhinestones.
Your Michael's rhinestones. I know. I think we should do a thing at the end of the year where we have to draw what we think the cup looks like.
Yeah,
Elton we'll do
that
it.
would be fun.
And see who's the closest if we go back through the archives
Yeah.
and listen. Don't forget the piss stains that came from Caesar first.
Yeah.
Wait. So what is the final verdict here then? What is better?
Are we-
Guinness Book of World
we on
Records
air?
or smoking sweet cigarettes at a youthful age where it was so great?
You already sound like you like it. You've been on my side from the very beginning. You started jumping in with your own cigarette stories.
We all love smoking cigarettes, Glenn. You might as well said breathing air.
Oh, okay.
It's a little better
Okay.
than breathing air. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe in the next episode, Gertie's going to come back with like, Elton will be like, well, it's this book. And then Gertie's going to go, mine is just life.
Yeah, mine is modern medicine.
Oh, I can argue
Antibiotics?
against that.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's where your QAnon stuff comes out. And
Yeah,
we get to
right.
learn a lot more about you.
We are shipping the cup.
So I win.
To Elton. Elton
roughly
wins.
1,000
I would say
miles.
I was surprised, but come on. I mean,
Oh, you son of a bitch! You know that my kid smoking cigarettes was good. You couldn't shut up about it before you even
Also-
started talking about your own thing.
also, kids don't smoke cigarettes because Jesus doesn't want you to. Just another
It's
disclaimer.
true. We are a Christian podcast, and so
Right.
we, of course, all the things we said about our own childhood smoking cigarettes, we're just lying. We never did that.
That's it.
Yeah, we just want to look cool. And we're going to hell for it. So
We
kids
got
don't
you,
be
libs.
Like us. Owned them.
We owned you.
So as we wrap this episode up, we'll say goodbye and we'll see you next time, and then all three of us will just have a little prayer circle. If that's okay with you guys?
Yeah. We're not going to sacrifice anything either.
No, we're not even going to sacrifice one thing.
Gertie actually does have cigarettes and has been dying to go out and have one.
Oh.
So we
Yeah,
have
I
to wrap this up.
I do love
Okay.
smoking cigarettes.
Go smoky. I'm glad I won the
Oh, you
cup.
son of a bitch!
So I'm going to
You
take
gloat.
it. And we'll do
All
it
right.
again. And I'll win that.
Well, God.
Well, you don't have a chance at winning.
No, you don't. According to Gertie's,
The algorithm.
the algorithm, Gertie's algorithm is that the cup has to go back and forth. So. I better win the next one. It should be even, where everyone gets a chance to win in order.
Yeah, that's literally what I said.
I know. Okay, I missed that part. I was too busy getting worked into a lather over it.
I know, you're so offended.
All right, fine. Well, sign us off, Gertie.
Okay, bye.
That's not...
Thanks for listening to 2 Books, 1 Cup, where we didn't decide anything.
I won.
Because there's an algorithm.
Won.
We're slaves to the algorithm.
That's right.
You won. You won. So next time...
Very much.
Should it be... You know what's hilarious is that if it's... So next time between me and Gertie, and then
Yeah.
Elton is the judge, which means we're just getting the cup.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, but
that's
we
right.
get to fight over it. Because you were saying
That's true. I
I've
never got
hidden
to
it
see the
from
cup
you.
because
Yeah,
you
you
never
never
showed
got
it.
the
Yeah,
Yeah,
chance.
you get to hide it.
that's true.
Call
talk
back.
about what you did to it.
Where am I going to hide this beautiful chalice?
Just-
I don't know.
With enough lube, I
You
mean.
tried your butt.
you can-
I was thinking, yeah, you and I have the same spot. I was thinking the same thing, like, how do I get it up my ass? How big is this chalice? Like, what's the diameter of it? Not just the base.
Which
but
side first, base or mouth?
Mouth is going to keep a pocket of air. It is going to be pushing a pocket of air up inside you.
That's true.
So probably base first.
now the
grind
minutia
down those
of fitting
edges.
a cup up
Yeah.
Yeah.
the minute details. You're like, the physics alone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Your favorite thing's going to be lube. Your best thing.
Oh, maybe that's my best thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're done.
Thank you for listening to whatever. The 2 Books in 1 Cup. There you go.
Oh, you're going to be great next time.
Oh, no.
You're going to be a great master of ceremonies.
Oh, no. I'm going to be terrible. I'm always terrible.
Bye!
Bye-bye.